That's Scotty, I'm Motty, and this is the big season preview. Yes, Manchester United versus Wolves is upon us. The big one, the biggest game of the season comes early. Scotty, we're going to be taking a little bit of a look, not just at this game, but the season in general, what we can expect from Manchester United and the league. We'll start with the Wolves game, then we'll get into sort of the grander scheme of things. Wolves are a team that United play at least 7 times a season, aren't they? I mean, invariably ends in either a 1-0, 0-0 or a 1-0 to United, something like that. Usually quite boring or close games. United have done all right business in the summer. New goalkeeper, strikers come in. I know he's not available for this game. Mason Mount's come in as well. Quite a few players have been moved on. Does feel like there's a bit of a plan afoot under Erik ten Hag. You feeling confident going into this game?
I think so. I don't think Wolves are, dare I say, the formidable. Well,
they just lost the manager as well, haven't they?
But is that there's the bounce back sort of thing?
Lopetegui's gone. Yeah, and is it Gary O'Neill who's gone over there? He is a good manager, did a very good job at Bournemouth. But I also feel like I get the new manager bounce thing, but
they're not bouncing back from anything because they've not had
it's a bit of a weird one because he's taken over before he took over before the season started.
Yeah.
For me, Wolves are a team that I think could get relegated.
Yeah, and I think they were lucky to not get dragged into the fight last year when then towards the end of the season. And I think they've lost a lot better players, during the summer. Obviously, people gone around Europe. I think it'll be a convincing win.
Really?
Yeah, and I try to temper my optimism. Shall we say? I know you say that's pessimism, but I'm not.
No, listen, you're a realist. I respect that.
I think that it could be 3 or 4-0.
Really?
Yeah, and I think we need it because given last year, the first 2 games that we got beat by Brentford and Brighton, wasn't it, last season? And they weren't good performances that we got beaten either. It wasn't like we lost by 1 goal. I think United need to have an emphatic, saying like, we're laying something down here. Because you get that sort of knock-on effect, don't you? And that belief sort of, you don't want to lose your first game, and you've got Spurs after that, and then we've got Arsenal after that. So we don't get the 3 or Forest, haven't we? I think in between.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's 2 games in the first. There's 2 games in the first 4 that I think we
Spurs in it. You've got Spurs away. You've got Arsenal. I think you've got Spurs in about a week's time, whatever.
Yeah.
You've got Arsenal in the 3rd of September, I think it is.
It's Forest then Arsenal. So we've got 2 difficult games in the first 4.
Yeah.
So we can't be affording to drop any points if we have any intentions to go forward and win the league. But I don't think Wolves will bore us to death like they have in the past or pose a threat to taking points off us. Monday night at Old Trafford, I just think 3 or 4-0.
Oh, I like that. I like it. Style. United under ten Hag have turned Old Trafford into a bit of a fortress, haven't we? After that Brighton game, I think there was only Brighton and Sociedad on it last season that beat us. And we beat the big teams. We beat Barca, we beat City, we beat Arsenal, beat the Scousers. So our record was good. And also, towards the end of the season, when we needed those wins, we got it. When it was like, we've lost to Brighton, lost to West Ham, is it going to get a bit touchy? And we just won all the home games we needed to win. So yeah, I'm with you, bro. I think we'll win. I feel like it will be pretty comfortable. I'll go for a 2-0. I think it's one of those 2-0s where you get an early goal and then you get a second one sort of, just after half time, and it's like, this is a bit of a training game. I don't think Wolves have got anything to offer because they've lost, like you said, they've lost players, they've lost the manager. I just think they're a club that are running out of steam. Yeah,
I think for a long while as well they've been sort of punching above their weight, haven't they? Yeah. I don't think anyone's expecting to last in the Premier League.
They had the big money,
the Portuguese connection, and all that.
The Chinese billionaire, I think, who took over the Portuguese connection with Mendes and that, and they were bringing all these players, Neves and Moutinho and players that, Jimenez, and now it's like it's just petering out. Players are leaving. You just get this air of
the experiment's over now.
Yeah, is it done? Is this Wolves going back to sort of the Championship where they spent quite a long time, to be brutally honest? Let us know in the comments in the chat what your predictions are. He's gone 3 or 4-0. I've gone 2-0. Maybe it's somewhere in between. Looking forward to the season then, because it's a bit of a funny one. Everyone seems to be, other than maybe City and dare I say Arsenal, everyone else seems to be in a little bit of a transition. changing big things. Liverpool have obviously lost a lot of midfielders. We've got to change the goalkeeper for the first time in 12 years for a first-team goalkeeper, brought in a new striker. Chelsea have got a new manager. Spurs, I suppose, haven't really changed that much, have they? But, are they even in the conversation? It does feel like there's a bit of a shift there, and it's like we're going into this season with all clubs going, right, we've had a bit of a change here, we've had a bit of a reset. What's going to happen? How do you feel about it? Because part of the problem for me is that City was so dominant last season. I just see it carrying on a bit more.
I think City will probably go on and win the league. I think the only way that City don't win the league is if they get any bad injuries.
Yeah.
I think that might be the way that another team gets in. But given all that information, that stuff that you said there about different teams in transition, that's quite exciting because usually it's, I know who's going to finish top 4. And even last season with the emergence of Newcastle, I don't think anyone's expecting them to finish top 4 in the first year under the Saudi ownership. But like I said, and then you've got to throw like teams like Brighton in. How are they going to do? Because they were sort of the surprise package last year. So it's quite exciting to how's it all going to fall out. I think United will finish. I think second. I really, really do think we'll finish second. I think a lot of it. If we start well, I just think it could be a big thing if we start well. Because last year when we got to Christmas, if we'd not have lost them 2 games, we'd have been right in that.
I know, it does make you right. It's a good point. It makes a difference, doesn't it? Because, you go back to like the game.
It's the silly games we were dropping points on.
When we drew at Palace and then lost at the Emirates, it was like, wow, that was so deflating because then you just going into that Palace game, you're like, hang on a minute, something could be happening here. Now imagine if we'd have gone in that with another 6 points. Yeah. You'd have been like, well, we're right in this. Do you know what I mean? We could afford to draw that and lose at Arsenal. But we weren't. We were always on like that cusp of like, if we just drop any points now, then that's any slight inkling of a title challenge is over, which is what it was. Yeah, and you don't want to be giving the teams around you the advantage of a head start. You can't give teams like City a head start. No. Not that we're in a title race, but even so. So yeah, I completely agree. I think we do need to get going. I think, though, we've got players that should be able to... Højlund probably exception, but Onana looks like the kind of player who's just like, get me in there.
Slide in.
Yeah.
Mason Mount's
played in Premier League for 3 seasons now, whatever it is, or 4 seasons, so he's not exactly, new to the game. So, yeah, and we've still got a lot of experience in that team and players that have been there and worn the T-shirt.
They look good in the front. I know not so much in the States, but when they came back against Lens that they played in at Old Trafford.
There was Lens at Old Trafford. The States was a bit of a mixed bag because the Arsenal game was very positive, wasn't it?
But and even then the goal that they scored against the Sancho, the goals that they scored against Arsenal, they were Arsenal mistakes rather than...
I know, but to be fair, Arsenal had like a full-strength team, didn't they? And we'd mixed it up a bit, I think, which gives you a bit of comfort. And also, we beat them twice in one game. Do you know what I mean? Because we won on penalties as well, which is a bit weird, where we had penalties after we'd won, but we won it again anyway. The Real Madrid, the Dortmund game, and the Wrexham game was Rezzi's really, but yeah, it weren't great. But like you say, I think half the battle with pre-season is just getting minutes. Because remember under Van Gaal, we won all our pre-season games and then we lost 3 of our first 6 or something stupid going into the season. So looking good in pre-season, players look like they know what they're doing. Obviously, Erik ten Hag's second season, you expect him to kick on a bit. In terms of trophies, because you've said second, I think third. I've said third. I think
behind Arsenal.
Yeah, no, I've gone. I think Chelsea are going to do a madness and finish second.
Really?
Yeah, I think no European football makes a big difference for them, and also I think Pochettino is the ideal manager for them right now. I don't think he's the. I wouldn't have him over ten Hag or anything like that. I just think for where they're at, they need someone like him, and I don't rate Frank Lampard, and I think him going in that dressing room. A man who actually knows what he's doing. Yeah. He's got a bit of charisma. He's got a bit of tactical nous. He's been around. He's finished in the top 4 constantly. He'll be able to come in, settle it a bit. He's already done that. If you look at them in pre-season, they look a lot better than they did under Frank Lampard. I know it's only pre-season, but I think he's going to come in and he's going to be like just the ideal thing for him. And I think it makes such a difference not having European football when you're there or thereabouts. And I think they might just sneak into that top 2. Ooh. But I still think City will win the league, unfortunately.
Yeah, but in terms of other trophies, what do you think? What do you think we'll pick up anything this year?
I said on the Stretford Paddock predictions that I think we'll win the Champions League.
Yep.
So I've been my cautious self as always with my my predictions. I think we can do something in the Champions League. We get out of groups. I think we can do something. Maybe I'm being a little bit OTT saying we can win it, but I think our 11 is very good. I think even our like 13 or 14 players are good. It's when you get certain players who are out. Martinez,
Casemiro gets injured. Yep.
Rashford, maybe Bruno. you're in trouble then, because we're so reliant on those players and the ones that come in. Like if you lose, say Casemiro, and you're having to replace him, well, maybe we'll bring in Amrabat, but at the minute we haven't got him, so we have to replace him with McTominay. Say there's a drop off there. If you have to lose, say you lose Bruno and you bring in, I don't know, say it's Eriksen, Mount and Casemiro's your midfield, you lose something there. So yeah, I think there's one or two players there where, Marcus, if you lose him, you lose his goals. We needed them last season. But you can say that about anyone, to be fair.
True.
If Arsenal lose Saka, Rice and Partey or whatever,
there's only really
Saliba. Look, when they lost Saliba, they fell off a cliff.
Yeah, there's only City really that have that sort of depth where they can have like for like whenever they lose
City,
players. Get Haaland and they've got like Alvarez.
Yeah, or like if De Bruyne, they rested him for a few games last season because they've got other options. So yeah, I think it's easy to go, well, if United do that, which I've just done, but you can say the same way.
What do you think about this new rule where games could be going on for 100 plus
I
minutes?
get it, because it's annoying. It really frustrates me as a fan.
Does it? What, it frustrates you that you're going to watch more football?
No.
That people slow the game down.
You get so little football. You can see it. Time wasting constantly, and you see it on Trafford a lot.
Remember when Everton used to do that quite a lot with the ball boys? Remember?
Little things like that. And we've had a few games at Old Trafford where we've been chasing the game. You mentioned the Brighton game. There was the Southampton game where we drew 0-0. The Newcastle game, just frustrating games, man, where you're trying to go for it and there's time wasting, and the ref will go like 3 minutes or 4 minutes. And you think it's been much longer than that wasted. There's no way in this half we've seen 41 minutes of football. Do you know what I mean? It's just not even remotely true. But that's how how the system has worked. Now it's on the back of what we saw in the World Cup or whatever, where you're having these 10-minute, 11-minute add-ons, and I think that's more accurate, and I think that's only a good thing, being more accurate. I don't think it's so. I get Raphael Varane's complaint that you're asking players to play more football, and they've already played a lot of games because you had the World Cup in the middle of the season. Yes, they've had a bit of a breather in summer, but not much of a breather, and then in United's case, loads of pre-season games. So do sympathise with him, but I think from a fan point of view, I'm all for it. Yeah,
but do you think it'll affect our injuries? You were saying before that you're looking at players that might get injured. But I know it was quite emblematic of Varane saying that, because he's the one who needs wrapping him, paper mache all the time.
I think every club's going to have to do it. Sort of.
It's not going to play an advantage to
manage it. Have people on the bench you can rely on. I think United, we've been linked with a few defenders at the time of recording this. Benjamin Pavard from Bayern Munich, the kid from Nice as well. Is it Todibo? I probably got his name completely wrong now. But yeah, I understand why you're going to need options. You might need those players, and not even rotating in terms of games, but actually the last 10, 15, right, we're going to take Varane off and bring on a Lindelof or whatever. So clubs aren't going to have to manage it. But to be honest with you, a club like Manchester United, we should be able to do that. We should have players that you can bring on when you need to, if that's what you need to do. And also, we're quite fortunate. I think we've got one or two players who can go. Bruno's a great example. He could play for 300 minutes. He's just like the Energizer Bunny, and I think there's one or two others who are a bit like that. You've got a few youngsters as well. Like if you're bringing on Garnacho for the second half, he can play a second half that lasts 60 minutes. He's not going to have an issue with that. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I was surprised that I think Michael. I was unaware of it until Michael Owen tweeted about it,
and that's the first tweet he's ever done that's informed him.
Yeah, and it's not because I follow Michael Owen on social media, because he was getting ridiculed retweeting it. It's because he was in a bad mood about saying it's ridiculous that we've got to watch 100 minutes of football, and I was and then I said, well, that if anyone's got to sit through 10 more minutes of your fucking commentary, then I don't. I completely understand your angst,
that's
Michael.
That's a tap-in, to be fair. He asked for that one. I'm sure that a few people have said something similar.
But I agree that it needs to be done, because there are, and I'm a massive fan of the dark arts, a bit of shit hours on the pitch and stuff. But when Newcastle were just taking the piss of it massively last season. I'm not just laying it down to them that they're the only team that were time wasting, but it definitely needs to be brought into check. So we'll see how it goes. And like I said, no team is going to be an advantage for it.
Right, let's do some quick fire questions here.
Okay.
Bit of a preview roundup questions. Yeah. Right, and I want this is the Premier League in general, not just United.
Okay.
Top scorer.
Haaland.
Player of the season.
Sancho.
Surprise package that can be a player or a team.
Brighton again.
Okay. Flop of the season.
Flop of I was like, bad signing.
Bad signing, yep. The flop. I'll let you have a manager if you got to look for a manager. Either or.
Spurs, the guy that Spurs is just manager.
I can't say
the Australian dude.
Angelo Postecoglou. I've probably just butchered
That's the one.
that one.
Yep.
Yeah, him. So you think he's going to flop? All right. And okay, we'll go quickly. The cups. League Cup winners.
Brighton.
FA Cup winners.
Arsenal.
Champions League winners.
Manchester United.
Good lad. He's on my bus. I love that. I'm going to go with top scorer. Do you know what? I'll just say someone else just for the sake of it, because just state the fact it's so obviously going to be him.
Yeah.
So I'll just say Marcus, even though I know that's not going to happen. It's going to be that cyborg, an absolute weasel. Player of the season, I'll go Bruno, because I'm keeping my red tinted glasses on. Flop of the season, I'll go with Kai Havertz. Surprise package, I'll go with Burnley. And in terms of the cups, Carabao, I'll go with United. FA Cup, I'll go with City. Champions League, I'll go with United. Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, who's going to be signing of the season for United?
The signing of the season, Onana.
You think? Yeah. He's going to change.
I think he's going to be massive for United. I love David De Gea, but it was time for him to go. Didn't suit the system. Onana absolutely suits the system. You can't get a better goalkeeper for the system you want to play.
Yeah.
The manager knows him because he's worked with him. Absolutely full of confidence. Plays out from the back. It's, we saw it against Lons. The players have just got to get used to him. He's going to be off his line a lot. But I'm all for him, and I think it's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, the passing was incredible. I mean, there's some mistakes and stuff, but just to see him passing, like, whereas De Gea would have like been jittering around like a granny at the zebra crossing, right? Thank you everybody for watching. Get your predictions in. Who do you think is going to be the best player of the season, the flop of the season? What was it?
The surprise package and the signing of the season. Did they do a signing of the season?
Yeah, we just did sign. You said Onana.
All right, sorry, yeah. So signing, flop, surprise package, and who's going to win all the cups, and where are United going to finish?
Who's going to get relegated? Luton,
nailed on. Wolves, and Sheffield United.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, well, I've been Scotty, that's been Motty. We shall see you very, very soon.